So I will discuss my strategy for this year. So strategies usually they can go out the window because things happen, people get injured, players start playing bad, but I have some idea of what I'm going to do this year and how I'm going to start off my team, and I'm going to explain that. So we'll start off with some analogies. So our rookies are like growing bananas. So you keep an eye on them and you let them grow until they're ripe, but sometimes you can pick them a little bit early. So that depends on the situation. Like, if you're eating a banana, maybe you're really hungry, you want to eat it, you don't want to wait. Or in Supercoach terms, you want to trade in a player a little bit early so you get more points earlier. So think of rookies as bananas. Your mid-prices are the people you date. Most of these are traps. They don't work. They look good on face value. You hold them for a while, and then you realize from the start that you knew better not to go for it. So mid-prices are generally a waste of time, but there are gems if you get lucky. So yeah, be careful with mid-prices for sure. And the premiums are like your family. The premiums are your premiums. You have to hold on to them. You have to keep them. They're your family. You can try and get rid of them, but they're still your family. Doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say, basically, don't trade out your premiums. Hold them for as long as you can. Okay, my philosophy for this year. So this is based on previous winning teams. I did a video on this last year, but picking proven players who are durable. And what this does is this allows you to use more trades to your advantage rather than to cover your losses. So the Supercoach friendly roles, especially for rookies, we don't want to really pick small forwards as rookies unless we really have to. So if we can, I want to avoid Willie Rioli and Liam Ryan. But if we have to pick them, we can pick them. So we look for inside midfielders, intercept defenders, running halfbacks, and ideally you don't start with mobile key forwards. So I'm thinking Franklin and Cameron could be good, but maybe look to them as upgrade targets. Possibly Cameron has an early draw that's really good, so he could be an okay pick. But other than that, generally you don't want to start with key forwards, but later in the season you can pick them up. So when we're picking rookies initially, we should look at a number of factors. One that's overlooked is injury history, so we should definitely consider that. And if their AFL body is ready, so 80 kilos or so, you don't want to pick like Stevenson from Collingwood. He looks way too skinny, and I don't think he's a good option. And we look at their tank as well. Out of all the rookies, Angus Brayshaw clearly has the best tank. So I'll be picking Angus Brayshaw over Dow, LDU and Brody. We can look at the rookies in defence, and we see that the rookies are a lot better in defence, and up front they don't look as good and their job security is not as good. So I'm thinking this year 2 or 3 starting premiums in defence, and probably 5 premiums to, above 400k forwards this year. So I'll start off with 5 and possibly 2 or 3 premium defenders, because we have a lot of options. And these rookies, most of them are halfback, intercepting sort of roles, so Supercoach friendly roles. Now there's a few mid-prices that I'd completely avoid. So I'm seeing Bell talked up. His tank isn't that good, and he's barely best 22. Last year he wasn't best 22. So I think he's a trap. Christensen's a bit of a trap. I'm seeing Liberatore in a few teams. The guy has been, I don't know what, he's been taking stuff for 3 years. 2 years, so he's just been out of it. Last year he was way out of it, and I don't think he's going to get back to his best 110. For his price, you probably want 105 at worst average. I don't think he can do that yet. maybe with another full preseason, but he was just so bad last year that it's turned me off him completely. O'Meara, please don't pick O'Meara. Armitage might be okay, but he's barely played. He hasn't played healthy for 2 years, so no to Armitage. Now, another one is Lysette. I think people have forgotten Lysette pretty much missed the whole of last year. I don't think anyone's considered that, so no to Lysette, plus his job security's not that good. And we have Redden. I liked Redden. Perhaps in a better team he'd be okay, but West Coast look really weak this year. I'm a bit worried for West Coast. They traded away their first pick, but that's another story. I wouldn't be picking any West Coast players that are premiums, apart from possibly McGovern. So one player we really need to look at is Lance Franklin, and that is, we look at his fixture, and he has a difficult first few rounds, and then he plays all the weak teams. Apart from, I don't think Fremantle's going to be weak this year, but they play him in Sydney. So this is a really good draw for Franklin, and playing Carlton and North, he's capable of 10 goals against these clubs, and missing that, especially if you can put a vice captain on him, it's so important. So I have my current team. I have 80,000 in the bank. So my first priority is to get in Lance Franklin. A few things we should keep in mind: hold our premiums. If they're healthy, don't trade them out. They might go badly at first, but you've picked them for a reason. They have a proven history, probably, so we can hold on to them. We can wait till players drop in price. A lot of us aren't starting Dangerfield now because he's injured. Don't bring him in straight away for 750,000. It might take him a short while to get going. I mean, he's the greatest player right now in Supercoach, but there's no doubt he'll drop a little bit in price. And we have to watch his hamstring too. There's too much risk trading him in early for so much. And remember, our rookies are inconsistent. Don't hit the panic button on the rookies, so hold them. There's some sources you can look at. AFLplayerratings.com.au. This shows the injury history, the consistency, the roles that they've played. So they'll have like a description, a one-line description on every game pretty much every player's played from the AFL and VFL, SNFL, Waffle, all those leagues. Really useful source. FootyWire, you probably know about that. It's good for scores, scoring history, and Big Footy Team Boards gives you information on whether a player's best 22, how their preseason's gone, stuff like that. So that's my strategy for this year. Main things are: get Franklin in round 7, avoid mid prices that I'm starting off with, and I'm going to go heavy in defence on the rookies. So I'm going light in defence. So at this rate, I think I'm going to start with 2 premiums in defence, maybe 3, and then 5 400,000 plus players in the forward line. That's about it. Picking durable players. Good luck.